Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our admin who gave us this translation. The translation, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? My story, it goes on like this. My name is Sipo, and I'm staying here with my wife. We are staying here in Johannesburg. We are a couple from Johannesburg, South Africa. So we thought that we were doing the right thing when we tried to push our business. So whilst we were pushing our business, that was when we started following this other traditional healer, even though we did not even understand what he was saying. We came across his page because my wife, she is involved in a lot of groups there on Facebook. She's the one who started searching, looking for people who can assist us with Ukuthwala rituals. She is even in the group that is called Witches South Africa, where she was getting a lot of herbs and some things that would be even couriered to us that we were using in our business. So she then told me that she had came across this other page of a traditional healer who is from Zim. And then we started following the man, but we did not understand what he was saying. But he seems as if he has a lot of knowledge. Then that was when we started to search for other channels, but that are from Zim. Then we started getting the phone numbers, and then we would contact each and every one. And each and every time that we were contacting, we would make sure that the person will tell us that we needed to pay when we were there in his country. So we thought that we were doing the right thing. We made our decision and we decided to go for Ukuthwala rituals in Zim. This was last month, but after a very long time trying to reason with my wife, we were kind of like desperate. Life was very hard, and despite working day and night, working for our small business, but nothing was working at all. We never seemed to get ahead of anything. We would hear stories about how people are becoming rich overnight through Ukuthwala by making deals with powerful traditional healers. We thought that since this man had told us that if we could come to his country, he would only make us pay. This was going to be a special one to make us pay after we would have made our first money. He even said that you do not need to pay me like physically. All that you need to do is to look for a river. When you get a river, you just go and you put the money in that river. Then the money will come to me. So then my wife said, this one is making sense. Let us go there. We then went to Zim. The trip to Zim was not that easy. We met with a well-known Sangoma who promised us wealth and success. The rituals that he performed for us, they were quite dark. We were placed in this other mud hut. Whilst we were in that mud hut, that was when we were told that we were going to be strengthened. At that time, we did not even care what was about to happen to us. All that we could think about was the money that we would soon have. The freedom we had been craving for so long, that was all that mattered to us. We believed that we were securing a better future for ourselves and for our 3 children, but we had no idea the true cost of the wealth that we were going to be given by this traditional healer from Zim. And after the rituals, that was when the Sangoma pulled us aside and he told us that he wanted us to get more customers for him in South Africa. That was why he was going to make sure that the rituals that he would do for us, they were going to work. And after he had pulled us to the side, he said that in exchange for these riches, then we needed to do a sacrifice. I said, here we go. What kind of a sacrifice have we have to do? He said that you have to choose one amongst your children. We are not going to kill this child like we normally do in these rituals, but your child has to suffer for the rest of their life so that you can enjoy. We were given a choice not to kill our child, but it is a choice that has been haunting us each and every day ever since that time. The Sangoma told us that we must choose one of our children, either to make them one so obese that they won't even be able to live past of the age of 15 because of the way that they will be so fat, or to cripple them so badly that their life, when you look at their life will not be worth living at all. When I started thinking about our children, they mean everything to me and my wife. We never imagined that becoming wealthy would mean sacrificing one of them in such a terrible way. We are truly horrified and devastated, but we have already agreed to the ritual, and now there is no turning back. So we have been given a due date where we are supposed to step our feet there in Zim. Our feet has to physically touch the soil and leave our country, and the Sangoma gave us until October 8th, and we have to return with our decision. Otherwise, we'll start to run mad telling people what we went to do in Zim. We do not know what to do. Every night we lie awake thinking about our 3 kids, and I don't even know. Sometimes I go into their separate spare bedrooms one by one, looking at them all, not knowing how can I choose which one of them is supposed to suffer for the rest of their life. Like Lungelo is the eldest, not his real name, smart and curious about everything. Nolwazi is sweet, always helping around the house, and our youngest is full of energy and life. How do we decide which one of them will never have a normal life again? The guilt is eating us alive. We never thought that it was going to come to this. When we look at our children, sometimes when I go back into the bedroom, I will then find my wife crying, and she won't be able to stop crying because our kids, they trust us. We are supposed to protect them, not to condemn one of them to a life that will be full of misery. We have tried to convince ourselves that maybe the money will make things better, that maybe the wealth that we'll gain will help us for whichever child that we choose. But deep down, we know it is a lie. The money will never undo the pain we are about to cause. October 8th is approaching very fast, and we are terrified of running mad. We can't bear to face our children knowing that one of them will soon become a crippled or won't live past childhood. The weight of this decision is too much, but it seems as if we have no choice. The Sangoma warned us that if we do not return back to Zim, if our feet, if they don't physically touch the Zimbabwean soil by the 8th, this will mean that automatically we'll start to run mad. I don't know what I am supposed to do. I even feel like a little baby currently because I do not even know what to do. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. And that was the translation that was given to us by our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. To you, my dear brother, you need to remember that it is very important that no matter amount of wealth is worth sacrificing the life and the well-being of your children. You are being manipulated by demons, by the devil himself, and the power of the evil one can only bring you suffering. Once you do this ritual, more suffering is going to come. So you need to consult not with a witch doctor, but someone whom you can trust, a pastor who can help you break free from these demonic forces, because this situation is now beyond your control. This is now a spiritual battle. So there are people who can help you, those that are spiritually powerful. Above all, do not return back to the Sangoma, even if it means things get so hard. I would rather run mad than for my kids to suffer. The price of this ritual is too high, and it will only lead to more pain and suffering. Turning back now might seem impossible, but there is always another way. Do not return back, and pray for your protection. You and your family, you need a special spiritual protection during this time. Reach out to anyone whom you know can pray for you. Remember that your children, they are innocent. Your children, they trust you to make best decisions for them. Do not allow your greed or your fear to cloud your judgment. Now is the time for you to become strong, to stand like a man and say that, God, even if it means that I am going to run mad, so let it be, so that my kids won't have to stay with a father who would be performing all of these rituals, and one amongst them suffering for the rest of his life. And I know that you are not alone in this. There are people out there as well who did these rituals who are also regretting. You need to be strong and make a strong decision. Dear listeners, let us try to assist our dear brother in the comment section.